On the directors of 1021 and the 400, we've got the forward section lying completely off, and then a big gaping hole in this area, and I think the mine's likely to have detonated at the point where the keel here starts to rise, just about where I'm standing. And the force of the explosion has completely torn off the bow section. This is quite heavy because of the weight of the torpedoes and the torpedo tube, so gravity alone would have finished off whatever the blast did, and it's just torn it off completely.
The details of these U-boats' last voyages have now finally come to light, and with their identities and the reasons why they were sunk now firmly established, their last voyages can be pieced together. By this stage of the war, most German U-boats are operating out of Norway. It is from here that these 3 submarines are dispatched. For 2 of their crews, it is their first patrol. For all 3, it is to be their last. U-400, 18th of November 1944, under Captain Horst Kreutz. U-1021, 20th of February 1945, Captain William Holpert. U-325, 20th of March 1945, Captain Irvin Dorn. None of them had any idea they were sailing into a trap.
When any of our 3 submarines along the Cornish coast left Norway and shut the hatch, that wasn't opened again until they expected to get back home. So by the time our boats arrived in the Cornish area, they had been underwater for 2 or more weeks. Quite often you'd get very high concentrations of carbon dioxide. People would have raging headaches a lot of the time, disorientation. It's possible they weren't thinking absolutely as clearly as they were the day they got into the boat.
The route of the U-boats takes them round the north of Scotland and down the west coast of Ireland. As well as suffering physically, they are in a constant state of tension.
It is always the stress which is superimposed on this by the threat from being killed. The kill could be instantly, either from the air or from surface craft dropping depth charges. And I wonder if this is a stress which could be taken at an extended period of time.
On the 4th of December 1944, Captain Kreutz receives U-400's last orders. He is to proceed to Cornwall to intercept coastal convoys. Little does he know, only a week earlier off Padstow, a British mine layer has covertly laid a line of 150 deep mines below that very same convoy route. The trap is set.
They've practically run over the mines, so the first they would have known of the mine was when it blew. They might have heard a scrape or a crack, but that's about it.
If you knew there is mines, you wouldn't enter this area at all, because mines are very, very dangerous. You can see them, and once you hit them, you are done for.
A month later, U-400 is reported missing. No one then knows her true fate or location. After the war, British records list her as destroyed by a frigate off the Irish coast. When Captain Holpert of U-1021 arrives off Ireland in 1945, he little suspects that the British have secretly laid deep mines off the Cornish coast. His last orders are received on the 8th of March. His nemesis had been laid 3 months earlier on the 3rd of December. On the 14th of March, a British steamer in the area reports hearing a loud explosion. This previously unexplained event is probably the last moments of U-1021. At the time, her loss is attributed to an action 500 miles to the north, off the coast of Scotland. Late in the war, the disappearance of these 2 U-boats fails to arouse any suspicions at U-boat command. They are completely oblivious to the trap. in particular to a line of mines laid on the 12th of December. On the 10th of April, they order Captain Irvin Dawn to patrol Cornish waters. Whether he goes to the north or south is up to him. He chooses the north.